What is the problem? I mean, what is the problem definition? When we're discussing about a cross-border or local trade that are rely on these porters or luggage trader or any small scale carrier system, it's very easy to say that formalizing this network is going to be a solution. So all of this issue with the modern slavery, with shadow or informal supply chain, a gray supply chain that we may say, is going to be resolved. But many participants in supply chain do not seek for a strictly formal regulation and structure in the supply chain. Instead, this informal network can often thrive because they offer a cost advantage and adaptability and quick recovery during the disruption. So formalizing everything may not be the best solution because we can benefit from this informal network system. So and during this talk, we are going to use, we see that how the supply chain management lens, through the supply chain management lens, we argue that formalization or how it can be trade-off between the formalization and informal situation, but we also want to explore that how this network functioning, why they are existing and why they are more resilient in certain condition, and what are the opportunity or the challenges that present the ecosystem of them. Regarding the some advantage of disadvantage of this system is that, as I mentioned, their advantage is that they are very resilient and quick to recovery. So if there will be any policy shock or tariff things, like we are talking nowadays a lot about that, they can flex around this kind of issue very with a minimal delay very quickly. They are cost effective. So formalization always included cost, fee, taxes, and regulation fee. So these informal route, they are very viable for the smaller scale enterprises and the trader. And another very important thing is that in the border region, when there is a limited job, most of the time in most geographical region, this network, this informal network, sustain local heritage and the livelihood of the region. Of course, there are some disadvantage of them. So there are, if there is a legal or regularity complexity, so these regularity complexity, they can create uncertainty, a big uncertainty for this informal network. There is an issue with the worker safety and welfare. As I said, that there are many of the topic that I share with you. Worker are subject to exploitation and abuse, and there is a unequal bargaining power with informals with the formal setup. So this like the legal resource, if there is not the legal resources, there could be a exploitation that I said going back to the worker safety and welfare. So there are a lot of other worker safety, for instance, working at the border, most of the time they are not going through the same route that we normal logistic transit. They are going through the mountains, or because they have to carry something on their back, or go through some very dangerous activity, it's going to be another safety issue with them, with these people. So when we started to go through this problem, one of the questions that we always have been asked was that why we should care about these people. Because these people already have job, I mean income, and the job that government cannot create it for them. There's no any opportunity for them to do something else. In case of Morocco, for instance, these are the female and they are the head of household. They are single females, and they don't have any other job opportunity. And usually society don't accept this female to give a job to them. In terms of the kids, in Thailand, they are kids. They cannot do any other activity that adults can do. In terms of the coal bar, the same issue there. The area is subject to a lot of tension and many years, and they have been involved in the war between Iran and Iraq and Syria and inside Iraq itself. And their religion maybe is different, their language is maybe different, and they feel that they are marginalized because of this kind of issue. And consider all of these things. They already have some kind of income. So if you wanted to solve or bring supply chain research, supply chain management, maybe we want to remove them, or what we wanted to do for them. There are a lot of we have started collected data since 2021, and still we are collecting some data. I will share it later with you that what happened during our data collection is very interesting. So the point is that when the government cannot create job for them, government it seems that is happy, because already there are some people that is very difficult to create job for them or income for them. They already have some source of income. They are helping consumer are happy because they're receiving a low cost product, a low cost in terms of the logistic cost. These people are happy. Retail market is happy. So why why we should care about this informal logistic system? It's not only about this system, this informal system. It's about everything that are attached to this system. For instance, the cost dynamic that we said. So the cost dynamic, many small enterprises, they are they are advancing, they are appreciating low cost over some standardized process. And this standardization that we are talking about, that is also in informal logistic, is rapidly adapted to some new regulation. So even though they lack some uniform procedure structure, because they can rapidly adapt to any new adjustments. So not all the market required such a rigid standardization. So they are very flexible. If there is any external shock, any like the tariff, like sanction, like the other things, like organized crime, arresting the organized crime. We want to remove the organized crime, because organized crime, of course, we don't want them, but they are playing a very important role in this ecosystem. So if it will be an external shock, they can recover very quickly as well. And the a stakeholder they are involved here also. They are not all of the stakeholder. They are looking for very high level of the formality. Some partial or light touch of the formality is enough for them. And so, okay. About how we have to how we should care about these people. I mean, when I said the pupils, I mean mainly we talk about the porter, but these porters are involving in the informal supply logistics system. Um, we first need to know that who benefits from these services, because due to the cost reduction or preserving the local community. So basically, who benefit from the performance of this community? Who need the visibility? Because formality bring the visibility. So informality is supposed that is bringing invisibility. So who need visibility. So certain policymaker or some formal firms may only seek basic data or minimal regulation to ensure the safety and avoid conflict, but only the visibility and how much visibility is needed. What can we solve? Basically, um, we can pinpoint that where selective integration or some light regulation should be put and that safeguard the workers, the porters, and maintain the adaptability of the system and avoid illicit activities. And also, we have to respect the local reality that some prefer to remain fully informal for cultural or economic reason, and a lot of other people prefer accept a limited formalization or to just having the stability and access for everyone. So we need to care about this and consider all of these aspects in order to know how to care about the problem and how to consider solution or intervention scenario for this informal logistics system.